Hello, welcome to my kitchen. We're making lemon curd, okay? If you see me for the first time, my name is Gladys. I love cake, and over here I make simple, informative tutorials to help you navigate baking and decorating it easily. If I sound a little bit awkward, it's because it's been a little while since I was last here. I was here, I think, was it last week? I can't even remember. I was here for a little while and I thought I was going to keep up, and then I disappeared again. Yeah, I am just adapting to changes around me whilst also looking after myself in a way that I have not been used to for a little while. So please bear with me. For all of you who have sent me caring messages, emails, I am fine, okay? I am fine. The thing is, I am tired. I keep banging on about this side. I feel like I have to explain. It's not an elephant in the room or anything, but I think I owe you that because you are my people and we live here, right? It's because the tiredness that I was feeling was quite unusual for me, right? So I thought it was just related to just go, just physically exhausted. But after a while, it just began to feel like I'm not sure. So I can't tell you I'm unwell, but I thought I'll check with my GP. They wanted to run some bloods, and unfortunately I have fine veins. So the bloods have become an appointment after an appointment, and I have one I have one sometime this week. Hopefully they can find a vein because the bloods are booked per session, if you like. So if you go and they can't find the veins and they keep prodding and prodding, they kind of reschedule it. And they can only reschedule the bloods for when they have like appointments open. So in all this time that I've been going, I'm okay. I know I am okay because I can't tell you I am unwell because I don't feel unwell. However, the fatigue and tiredness I feel is also a little bit of a concern in a way that is not usual to me. So I thought, let me go have it checked out. If they'd drawn some bloods, I'll come back and tell you, oh, maybe I was just fatigued or my iron levels were down, and this is what they said. They haven't managed to pull any bloods. I'm still tired. I don't know what's happening with me. But besides that, I am generally fine. Because I feel exhausted a lot, I have had to kind of try and manage my own well-being whilst also carrying my most important responsibility, which is being a mom to my son. When I am here, that part of my life is kind of like away, if you like. At the moment, he's in school. But if I'm feeling a little bit tired and I don't have the energy to kind of give the output, and you know what, it seems like a life here, but it's also energy dependent. If I'm tired, you will know, because you'll come here and you'll be like, Glad, are you okay? And if I'm not okay, I have to tell you I'm okay, so I can't pretend. So if I'm not feeling okay, you won't see me. But if you have worried or thought about me in a way that is centered on the care of who I am, I sincerely appreciate. I am okay. I am trying to kind of just edge myself back into the lives a little bit. I don't know where I'm headed because I haven't had the bloods done. I don't know where I'm headed yet. Hopefully it all comes back. I've tried to make a few different changes, like make sure I change my diet a bit, because the donuts were not helping, my people. The donuts and the sugar was not helping. Okay, the donuts. At a certain age, when you wake up and all you eat is donuts, it's not good. Okay, so the donuts are in the bin. Today is the first time I walked into Lidl and like, I'm not looking at the donut section. Okay, I'm not. And I just bought myself some lemons. Look, this is what I did. I bought myself some unwaxed lemons. We're making lemon curd. And then I left the donuts over there. I don't have a donut. My mornings are like protein centered. Today, I haven't even had my protein, if you like. I'm just trying to make changes within my own control. And then we will see what the bloods will say, you know. But the tiredness is quite unusual. It's a certain level of fatigue that literally leaves me so drained even when I've done nothing. It could be burnout. It could be burnout. I don't know. So I just thought, let me start with the place that feels safe. Let's go get the bloods done. If it comes out and everything is fine, then it's like, okay, maybe lifestyle. Let's make some changes there. Because you can't be exercising without a good diet, if you like. you know. So there are just a few things, but if you haven't seen me, I am okay. It's just that I am centered on trying to prioritize what is important, which is my health. Health is wealth. If you don't have your health, this whole thing goes to over there. So thank you so very much. I miss you all. I do. When I disappear, especially to those of you that I keep in touch with, when I disappear, know that you are some of the people who sit heavy on my heart. I think about you a lot, but sometimes I just don't have the mental capacity and the energy because I am just making an adjustment in my own life. So I hope every one of you is fine. Tabitha, your birthday came and went. I hope you had a good one. What did you do? And I think Cinnamon Tags, our friend Cinnamon, she had a milestone 60th birthday. I had plans in my head and then it didn't come to pass. Okay, so all of you, the season is great. We're in a season of a little bit of adjustment. So there is uncertainty. When I'm not here, my heart bleeds. Honestly, when I am not here, I'm like, I have become a part of your lives and you have become a part of my life. So when I'm not here, I'm not one of them people who wants to kind of make noise on the mountainside and be like, I am coming, because I might just not. So I like to kind of stay over here in the quiet, but know that I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate you all. And I'll keep you posted. But this week, I just thought I'll get ahead of it and give you some sort of something to look forward to. So I'm here today. Fingers crossed, I will be back on Thursday. And that is, I will. It's not a may. The only thing that will take it away if something unpredictable happened in our universe and it couldn't be possible, then I'll keep you updated. But now that you know that I'll be here on Thursday, do yourself a favor. Check the community post on Thursday morning before midday to be sure that I'll be here so that there is some consistency. If I can increase that as we go along, I will let you know. And as it happens, if I have to make an adjustment and changes has to happen, I will keep you all updated as well. But with that said, we're making it lemon curd. But if I had to go and be so planned to come here, it won't happen. So you know what? I am not prepped. The lemons are here. I need lemon zest. I need lemon juice. Let's get to it. But much of it is not even about me. I also know that my presence here gives you a chance to kind of interact with each other in the community post. So keep up with each other over there, and let's keep at it. But Tabitha, I hope you had a good birthday. People, we missed Tabitha's birthday because the community champion wasn't here, right? So wish Tabitha a happy birthday. Tabitha has been literally the spirit of the place. Tabitha, Lollipop, your Dawns, Steph. Like there's a ton of you. The people with the blue showing over there. They give up their time to kind of keep the community engaged whilst running their own lives, and I don't pay these people. Okay, I don't pay these people. So when it's your birthday, come on, wish Tabitha a happy birthday, and Tabitha, come and tell us all that you did, and I hope you had a memorable time. Okay, how does it feel to be edging closer to them? I wouldn't say, but just know that I have accepted I'm your big sister. Okay, let me just try and change the perspective a little bit. I think I'm just in your face. I can see a question there. Dawn, is that, are you asking me if my tiredness has something to do with bad moods? Oh God, I am a devil. I have terrible moods. I do. I do. Has that got to do with anything? I do have terrible moods. Like when I wake up in the morning, I cannot cope. I think it was one of the things that actually flagged the concern, because I'll go to bed, I'll wake up in the morning, and obviously the mornings are my busiest in terms of mental output, because I have to focus on trying to get the boy ready for school. And in the morning, he's like, when he's had a good sleep, he jumps out of bed and he wants to shoot out, and he's like, Mom, and I just cannot cope. I feel like I want to scream. Honestly, it just feels like there's a spark of fire in my head, but it is something I am also aware of. So when that happens, I have to negotiate my way and be like, son, you need to chill out a minute. You need to chill out. But I don't have a lot of people around me. As in, I have people, but my life is much of like, I exist in my home alone most of the time in this space. I don't have a lot of like in-person interaction. So even if I'm in a bad mood, I'm just by myself, if you like. But perhaps if I was with somebody and I was lashing out, then it would be very apparent. So that's a long-winded way of saying, yeah, sometimes I feel a bit like in a bad mood, but I don't know. It gets worse depending on what the cycle of the month is. Let's go make lemon curd, okay? Oh no, Tabitha says, thank you all for the birthday wishes. The days were good. Just food situation was absolutely okay. So Denai is asking, are you able to have protected time off throughout the year? What do you mean, Denai? Welcome back, Denai. It's great to catch up with you. Tabitha, why was the food, look, I feel like catching up with a bunch of friends and making the lemon curd is not even a priority. Okay, so we have at least an hour because the battery over here might die as well. I don't know. So let's get on. If we make the lemon curd great, I mean, this is the spirit of the lives, right? You see each other in the chat. I am here talking to you. Whether we make lemon curd or not, it's okay. It's a mess. Okay. It's okay. Are you able to have protected time off in the year? What do you mean, my darling? Break that down for me and I'll try and see if I can answer that. What's happening in Downing Street? What's happened? Has the PM quit? Time off work similar to you know what? For a self-employed, you get to choose your time. So I haven't even considered that, because if you can work, okay, so the protected time seems like your annual holiday. You can work that into your schedule and your income goals, right? But for a very long time, my because I transitioned, okay, so I transitioned from like making cakes for sale as a business to actually wanting to launch myself on YouTube, and I found it really difficult doing both. So when I made cake and derived an income, it was full-time, as in it was what I did full-time, and it is what I technically do full-time, but I don't derive a full-time income from it. So there's a difference. You can do something full-time, but you don't always make a full-time income out of it. So when I made cakes and wasn't on YouTube, taking that time off was okay, right? Because then I could fit that into my income goals. We were a family situation, so the thought of holidays were planned into what our goals for the holiday period, especially with our son. But now that that situation has changed, it's neither here nor there. If I forgo the time, my holiday, say if I took a 6-week holiday, right, I have to know that I will not make an income and what that looks like. So it's a long-winded way of saying yes and no, but the good thing is that I'm in the middle. I get to choose what I want to do with my time. I get to choose, which is at the moment, I get to choose whether I want to show up here, even though being on YouTube doesn't derive me an income at all in any measure of what income looks like. I've spoken about income. So when I'm stood here and you see me for an hour, that is almost about 2-3 hours of work, because the planning, the setup and everything, and that's work, right? But if I didn't show up, what will that look like? So whilst the income doesn't impact anything because I don't make an income from being here, this is equally my job as well. So I get to choose where my time is, and I can take time off if I wanted to. but it has an impact on what my monetary decisions are. I hope that kind of makes sense. Tabitha says today we could drink tea and chat, and you know what? I'm just gonna go. Tabitha, you are the friend who will not make me achieve my $1 million goal. You're the friend that's like, sit down, honey. Sit down, don't worry. And then before you know, you go to sleep and your dreams are one day at a time, day 2, day 3, and a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the arms and poverty. But you know what? I'm not even mad. Lollipop. I'm not even mad, darling. Okay? The good thing is that my seat is not too far from me. My seat is not too far from me. Game over. Okay? It's game over. Okay, I will pretend I'm going to I'll pretend I'm going to the whole thing is funny. I'm going to get some lemon zest. Did I promise we were going to be making lemon curd? I did. Well, I didn't promise that. I said we were. Oh, Dawn says, I'm so grateful when you show up. Gives me an excuse to have a break. Darling, how is the packing and the moving? I really hope you've managed. But, you know, when I think about you, superwoman out there doing your thing and packing a whole place, I'm like, women, we are amazing. Okay? Women, we are. That's all, people. Okay? That's all. We are amazing because we can decide that we will want to make lemon curd and then we won't. Let's see what's in the chat. Okay? I can imagine. Dawn, if you were here last year when I was supposed to be moving, my house is still packed and boxed, right? And now this is what the boxes look like. The boxes are all that I bought moving boxes. And it doesn't seem like the move is happening, okay? I don't want to speak into it, but it doesn't look... You know what? I'm grateful. You know how upset I was about the possible move, okay? And it's looking like it might just not happen as it appears. It's all up in the air, okay? But the boxes that I bought and sealed and packed stuff and sealed, now that I'm still living, I have to go back and open them boxes. So I have a whole room of boxes that are all now all open and the lips are all up and these boxes are all arranged. And I'm like, what am I doing? The thought of them, every time I have to go and jump boxes to get to the next one, to get the thing that I packed, like the beddings that I packed. It's like, I'm even exhausted thinking about redoing this when the time comes. It's wild. So you are just superwoman doing that, okay? God give you strength. That's all. I know it. You know what? I'm not even mad. I am not mad about it. It's not like, I think when I first spoke about the move, it has never happened to me before because where we lived before we moved here, we lived there for 9 years. 9. It was a little flat in the middle of a busy how do I say it? Like, you know, the business where business activity is generally centered, where you have the shops. It's not like the town center, but it was the outskirts of the little town, the little place we lived, right? And it had the banks, it had Iceland, it had Aldi, it had farm foods. And all of this was within like a 5 minutes radius, right? So at the time, I was that person who would go to when I had the boy. Okay. When I had him, like, what a memory that was. When I had my son, you know, when you have to wake up and you're going, you can see the shop across the road, and it's only like crossing the road, as in jump across the road to the next street, right? That was what Iceland and Aldi were like for me. You had to cross a main street and then get to the shop. So it was just a distance here, right? And then the boy has just gone to sleep. And where we lived upstairs without a lift. And it seems like so long ago now, I had a very snazzy pram, right? And it's the pram that is 3-legged, and it was, you know what, I bought that pram without thinking about the logistics of a baby in it. I bought that pram looking at how cute and beautiful that thing was. It was one of those prams. What is it called? It used to have a name. Is it for moms or something? It's a very, very snazzy pram. And I had a white one. So it was logistically a hassle. And I mean a hassle in every way. If I have to go to Iceland. And guess what I'm picking up in Iceland? Fucking what? Eggs. Say if I just wanted that from Iceland, and after a whole night, and the boy has gone to sleep, and I have to go to Iceland, and thinking about putting him all the way in this pram. So I would just knock on the neighbor's door with my, what do you call it? My PJs. Don't judge me, people. Don't judge me. I used to knock on the neighbors. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. Do you have a minute? And he and they were married over there. So they'll be like, oh, we don't mind. And the man will be stood in the corridor having a smoke. And I'll be like, give me 2 minutes, I'll be back. And I will be running down the street with my pajamas to go to Iceland. Okay? And I tell you, now that this story is wild. Now that I remember it, you know them stories that are buried in your psyche somewhere. And you're like, oh my God, right? There was this day that I got to Iceland. And believe me, I love me a scarf. I've always had a scarf, right? There's nothing religious tied to it. It's a meaningful thing. It is just for convenience. Because as a Black woman, kind of managing your hair sometimes can be a little bit of a hassle. So a scarf is kind of convenient to kind of keep all the mess together. And this day came when I shot across the road running down to Iceland with, let me paint you the picture. You know the pajamas that you have grown out of, but you like, these pajamas and me are besties. So the pajamas is kind of fitting and holding in places that it shouldn't, right? Stay with me, right? Have you, I mean, if you are, if you're like, okay, let me just get to it. I'm trying to get through this. Okay. If you know an African woman who is like shapely, right? And they have a pajamas that is tight. It almost feels like the pajamas is kind of cutting through the bottom, if you like. Like, first of all, you have to get, say, for me, right? Okay, let me just tell you. I am a size, for my butt and hips, I am a 12. For my waist, I am somewhere around an 8. do the math. So it's like this, right? And I had these pajamas when I was a size, somewhere waist-wise, size 6, before I had the boy. Follow me on this one. So clearly, the waist has expanded, the backside has gone to the waist side, and yes, I am hanging on to these pajamas that is like, leave me alone. And I'm holding to that pajamas with my day life. So how does this pajamas play into my trip to Iceland? Well, I was wearing that pajama bottoms, and the top was like hanging, and there was no bra over there, and my scarf was gone. Okay, I don't know how I lost the scarf between the run from my home to across the road to Iceland. And guess what? I was picking butter. I got to Iceland, they had a deal for £1.25. I picked the butter because the neighbor is stood there smoking a fag, and in my head I'm like, I asked them to just keep an eye on the door. They don't know what's going on in there, and so if the boy wakes up, I'm in trouble. So let me shoot in and out. Tell me why, with all the description I just gave you, I got to Iceland, the tills, and my £1.25 is missing 20 pence. My £1.25 is missing 20 pence. And I'm like, hell no. I ain't about to leave this butter and go home after all this hassle. So no, I'm going to run out here in Iceland, look like a very mad person, okay? Looking for 20p. People, I'm going to tell you today, I'm going to tell you, if you ever go shopping and you see someone begging you for a penny or two, don't judge them, just give them. Because in that moment, I look like some of those unhoused people that sometimes I look up and be like, not that I was judging them, but when you see someone looking unkempt, you just assume that they are unhoused. Well, that was me in a moment, and I have a whole house with a baby inside. Okay? Looking for 20p, right? 20p. So Lasso Kid, welcome. We miss you, Lasso. Lasso, how are you? So people, people, you know what? When that happens, you scan the room. Look, there is a whole psychology to wanting to beg anyone for a penny. Because believe me, white people, I love you. But white people, you are the coldest people. Even when Iceland has given you the change and you hold it, you're still looking at me and it's sorry, I can't help you. I love you. So I had to scan the room. I had to scan the room for the person who looks closer to me and be like, you know what? I am sorry. I am so sorry for being a bother, but my son is upstairs. I just came down to pick up butter and I've lost 20p. Can you help me? Guy looked at me and handed me 50 pence. I can never tell you, gratitude has never felt so wholesome in that moment. Okay, so anyway, that's a long-winded story to say. I've never been in a situation where landlord says, oh, I'm selling up. And we have been, I say we because we used to live here as a family. I say our experience of our landlord has been positive. So his decision to sell came out of nowhere. Right? And I think what has happened is that a couple of the sales has kind of fallen through because he's gone through all the things he needs to do, you know, to update us. And then suddenly he's just gone, whatever. Okay, and our landlord was so amazing, has always been. So when he initiated the intention to sell, we were like, oh damn, because it wasn't just the move, it was also, will we be lucky to have the same experience, you know, because landlords are not always the same. So the fact that it may or may not happen has left me in a place of mental uncertainty. Okay, but I am still happy to still have some sort of stability in my life, and I think I've just made the decision to live, which is why I decided to clean and reset the kitchen so that I could continue to exist in it. But otherwise, everything else looks like it's in transition. The bedroom is all like a mess, like, because I packed all the beddings, and the bed itself, the bed frame itself, was supposed to go in the community bulk bin for collection, and suddenly it's like, do I throw it, or do I don't know, or do I buy a new bed? And because the thing is, I would rather just move and then buy myself a new bed if I wanted. But now that I'm stuck in a limbo, it's like, well, I have to probably bite the bullet and make a decision to live. But it's a big house, and I cannot afford it. That's the truth. So that's also another thing. It's a big house, right? It's a big house, and it's just like financially untenable to keep hold. But the decision surrounding a move or stay is almost like, yeah, that's where we are. Tabitha says, when my daughter was 3, I learned not to wake a child. My dear, you know what? My son has been a good kid all along. So I guess I was just batting for my own convenience, if you like, because putting the baby in the pram and then physically having to get it down 3 story, like we were on the 3rd floor, it was a lot. It was just a lot for me to do at the time. Now looking back, it's like, what a wild time it was. Running to Iceland in a pajamas that was literally fleeing your body. But hey, there you are. I know, Dana, the limbo sounds very stressful, but at some point you're just going to have to make a decision to live no matter what, right? Because the limbo has been so stressful. Like, I'm like, can we just, because it's a big house to park, and because the move itself, as in the decision to kind of move, was simply because the landlord initiated his intention to sell, right? And then the family situation also changed. So it was like, okay, me and my son alone somewhere, why not? But then again, I just have peculiar preferences. I want to go live in a village, and then I have to think about, if I want a village, what will access to the township be like? And then there's also the consideration of what will happen to the business. But I think the business, I am kind of edging into a place of being comfortable with knowing that my business is not tied to my home, right? If you like, because I told you, like, I enjoy making cakes. I have always felt uncomfortable. It's not uncomfortable. I've had a level of discomfort, like selling cakes. You know, it's not like I don't feel worthy about it, but nobody ever told me that you can have something you're passionate about and not make it a business. Nobody ever told me, right? You can have something you're sincerely passionate about, crazy mad about it. Don't turn it into a business, and that's okay. Nobody ever vocalized that to me. So I wasn't to know. I was meant to go and run a business, okay, and feel awful about making the cake and seeing the joy that people feel, and then feeling slightly heartbroken when I have to talk to them about money. And it had to, I initially, when it started as in that thought process started out. Maybe it's the discomfort of new grounds. Okay, the discomfort of new grounds, which is that if you're a new baker, you're going to struggle with price, and you're going to struggle with the conversation about money. No, I've done this for, I'm going on to, as in professionally, I'm going on to 8 years now. And I am still, like, I will charge you for a cake. I will, and I don't have any qualms, and I'm comfortable with people ghosting me because of my prices. I'm comfortable with people just doing what people do when it comes to business, okay? But I also know that my heart is content when I am using cake as a tool to exercise some value that is immeasurable. Okay, so the value of bringing cakes to the table, as in making a cake for that person who couldn't afford it, or making a cake, like the story I told you about this woman who contacted me for the cake for her husband who had passed away, and she was crying down the phone. We discussed that in some other live video. It's not like this woman couldn't afford a cupcake. Come on, that woman had more than cupcakes, 10 Sundays and more, right? But my heart was gladdened by the fact that I could make her those cakes and not have to talk to her about money, and never have to remember her, and to go to bed and know that she will probably think about me in a way that's like, wow, there's kindness in the world. And I love that I'm able to exercise some value in the world through a gift that I love, you know. But nobody ever told me that you can have that and not go run a business and charge people. Nobody ever told me. And it was just over the years, I had to learn where I'm comfortable at. And I am most comfortable when I'm just making a cake for the sake of making it. And it doesn't matter what cake it is. And you've seen the joy we felt here, from the random cakes we've made, from the car cakes to the steak cake to whatever. The joy I feel here is just what I feel. It's not something I make up. There's no script to it. It's just something I just sincerely enjoy and I'm passionate about. You know, when I am around family or people I care about and they want a cake, and I'm not talking like entitled people who think you make it. In fact, I am comfortable I turn down cakes all the time. Like, if you call me and you think just because I'm a cake maker you're going to get me to just make you a cake, I will say no, and I'll go to sleep easy, right? I like some relationships around me, as in what do you call them, some acquaintanceships have kind of like changed and fallen to the wayside, simply because if you call me and you tell me, one way to not get a cake from me is to tell me, oh, especially those people who are like, say if you're having an occasion, and I don't care what the occasion, it could be a birthday or anything. If you call me for a cake that you know you cannot afford, and yet you call me and be like, you do not care about the cake, but for some reason you desire a cake just for the occasion, that will be it's a red flag for me. It will be like, no. Why will I put my skill, my time, and my gift to making something that you don't care about but just want to tick a box? Why? That's the easiest no. Like, I will look dead in your face, and I don't care what relationship I have with you, I'll be like, no. So I am not uncomfortable with the discomfort that comes with exercising boundaries. I just know that my heart and cakes exist in a different world that is almost like not compatible with what business is. Okay, does that? So yeah, that's where we are. We were supposed to be making lemon curd, but look at me. I've gotten so comfortable. It's nice. Tabitha says, I have a hard time saying yes when my kids ask wear pajamas to school on Friday with their friends. Tabitha, let the kid wear her pajamas, okay? Let her, especially when it's school pajama day. Is that you saying that glad you were so out of order for wearing that pajama? Okay, let's see. Then I says, Dawn says, I just realized I'm the oldest here. Dawn, we are young at heart. Faso is back. Faso. Faso. Faso, why is your birthday in July? It's hot in July. Okay. It's hot. Like we have the 3 days of hotness towards the end of June, starting July. It is so hot. Faso, are you baking your own cake? Are you baking your own cake? It wasn't. Oh, okay. So, Tapeta, it wasn't. So, why does she want to wear a pajamas to school when it's not pajama day? Why? Dawn, 64 years young, okay? There is a heart to age and wisdom that comes with it. We love you here, okay? And you're one of us. So just think about all those lifting and the packing and all the stuff you're doing there, and you have the most like ladylike nails. Like I have chippy nails. Sometimes when I'm not here, it's because my nails are chipped. Oh God. Oh Lord, God, that's the thing over here. Wear pajamas to work, homeschool. The mock doesn't matter. It's Ooh, you know what? For someone who looks like a bum all the time, like I like comfort, and sometimes, like I've told you before I had my son, right? Before I had my son, I used to have all these imaginations of what a parent I'll be at the school playground and the pick up and drop off time. I used to have imaginations. And then it happened. And you'd be lucky if you see me like this and the school has seen me like this. And that's because I've literally just finished filming, either from a live or filming. I've literally finished filming, taken off my apron, and just dashed off for the school run. That's different. But or I am setting up for filming in the morning and had the makeup done. But even so, you are unlikely to see me with makeup in the morning because my mornings are a very protected time around my son until he goes to school, and then I ease up, right? So in the mornings, like, I don't care. Like, get a scarf. At least I wake up, I exercise, and I have a shower. Okay, so I feel refreshed. But after that, please don't bother me. Don't bother me. So, I think I will stop short of pajamas everywhere. But otherwise, let people just live. That's all. Don't say stuff like, oh, don't, you've shortened the nails. They still look lovely, okay? You've shortened the nails, but they still look lovely, I imagine. I think I need to come to you for nail tips, actually, because I bought myself a nail kit, as in the machine thing. I bought myself one because I'm tired of my nail kind of popping off on a random Tuesday when I'm getting ready to come for a live. I'm tired. I'm like, and I'm tired. And you know what's even worse for me? What is even worse? One of these days I went to my nail tech, and it was because my nail itself was it had just like shortened. So suddenly it just made me think I am kind of damaging my nails by going to the nail tech all the time. And I was trying to talk to my nail tech about what tips they would, whatever I was saying. That was when I realized that the subject of like communication barrier can be a real issue. Because all I was asking them was, I didn't want to have my full set acrylic anymore, just for that moment. I wanted a break, and I really wanted my natural nails taken care of and then polished. And I spent the entire time trying to ask. And you know what? I understood they didn't understand me, but the tech even taking the time to say, you know what, I don't know what you're saying, let me see if I can get you. It was like everything I was saying, you know, when someone can't understand you but they just keep going, okay, what are you saying okay to? What are you saying okay to? I want to kill somebody. Is that okay? I want to chop my limbs off. Is that okay? So obviously, like, public places like that really make me anxious. Like, I don't have social anxiety or anything, but it's awkward to go to I never understand people who cause a ruckus in a nail salon or like in a salon. Like, I never understand people who just make a fuss about. I knew the way they were handling, she was kind of behaving would have warranted, come on, can you understand what I'm saying? But it was just too much hassle for me. So ultimately I just went, look, let it go. Can you just get my polish off my natural nails? And I think the care of my natural nails, I don't know if it was because it will cost less or something. I didn't feel like she cared enough to do it. I didn't feel like that. So after I left the nail salon, I was like, I'm going to try and make an effort and take care of my own nails. So I'll keep you updated about that. Faso, drop me some info via email what exactly I need, because I've been trying to research like how to take care of one's own natural nails, because I've never had to do it. You know, when I didn't wear acrylic, I just trimmed my own nails and just filed it, and I was fine with that. And then I don't know what introduced me to acrylic, you know, I don't know. But I love them. I love the look of the long, pretty red polished nails. And the red is a thing. The reason why I like red is I'm particularly one of those people who don't like changing certain things. For instance, if I have a particular hairstyle, I don't mind keeping that hairstyle for as long. I'm not one of those people who like adventuring with certain things for the sake of, you know. So once I settled on nails and I felt like the red suited me, I stuck with them. And then obviously for cake making purposes, for food hygiene, if we're being honest, it's not advisable, okay, to have long nails, because your EHO will pull you up on it, because it's against food safety guidelines. You're supposed to have your nails trimmed and without polish on or anything on them. But because cake is kind of low risk, they are very lax, so it depends on the EHO you are dealing with. But the standard is no nail polish or acrylic, no long nails, simple as. And we know that. So one of the risks with obviously cakes and food, if you choose to have the nails, disregarding the guidelines, is there's a risk the nail might kind of chip or crack and fall in the food. So for me, sticking with red was a bold color, which in my head felt like, okay, it's easy to see a red in something, especially cake. Unless you're making red velvet, then it's different. So that's why I stuck with the red. And also, as I started the live and everything, sometimes it's just consistency. You want to keep consistency of the look from the scarf to the nail. I was like, I'm not changing that. So I have never had to kind of think about how to take care of my own nails, if you like. And now I feel like I have to. So I bought myself the kit. The problem is I'm a dominant right hand, and I've never had to use my left hand to kind of do my right. So that would be a bit tricky. So those of you who have tips, let us know. Okay, that's all. Okay, Faso says if you want to grow your nails naturally, try lemon. Okay, lemon, olive oil. Oh, okay, water soak, and they work. Also, collagen and magnesium makes intakes keeps them strong. Thanks for that. I think, oh, because apparently healthy looking nails is a sign of good health as well. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll do. Because I'm just tired of my nails kind of popping off on a regular Tuesday when I'm trying to get to a live or trying to film, and then your nails go off and you don't have any other alternative. The lemon here is to say we came to make lemon curd, and somehow oh, okay. Tapeta says I'm a dominant right, but I'm ambidextrous. Do I use? Oh, okay. Good for you. Sadly, some of us just have a dominant right. That's all. That's all I've got. I can't think of anything I do with my left hand. I've never had to kind of like even think about it. So right. Lollipop says, can I buy unflavored jelly cubes? Like the rum trees, but not sweetened or I think the simple answer is I don't know. Is that jelly cubes? Are you making jelly? Is it the jelly cubes you melt? I have no idea what those are. If anyone knows, can you help Lollipop out? Tapeta says, I can write and pick things up with my... Tapeta, you are a woman of many skills. Prawn! Prawn, darling. Prawn says, why do you have a pack of lemons, Gladys? Because I'm trying to chase the demons out. No, Prawn. Prawn, hey, darling. Right. We were here to make lemon curd. I haven't been here for a little while. I was here to make lemon curd. Here it is. Here's the microplane. We were going to zest the lemons. Here is everything we had. But you know when you're like, I'm going to the market to go shopping, and then the shop closes and you come home with nothing. That is me. I came to make lemon curd, then I got caught up catching up with you guys because I missed you. I haven't been here, you know. I mean, some of you are lucky that we catch up oddly offline and on other places. But truth is, I haven't been here much. So it was just nice to be back. And I thought I was going to make lemon curd, but I forgot what it felt like to just sit and chat with you and to catch up with all of you. So yeah, I gave up on the lemon curd. We'll make the lemon curd when I'm done. But right now, I just thought I'll sit down and catch up with you. And yeah, we've been having a good laugh about all sorts. The one time I ran off to Iceland with my tight pajamas that had my ass to the left and my hair to the right, and then running in Iceland trying to ask someone for 20p, and they looking at me like crazy with my son up there. Like, it's been mad. But yeah, it's lovely to kind of catch up. It is. How are you? Where are you? Are you still up and about? Have you managed to settle? How is mom and how is grandma? I know it's been such a lovely catch up. I think what will ruin it is when we look at the battery and the battery is dying, because I thought, you know what, today I'm just going to try and come here and not give in to the whims that are distracting me. Okay, because the whims that can distract me is my nail falling off on a regular Tuesday, or like looking in my makeup tab and seeing that my makeup tab needs replacing and I haven't done it, or the kitchen hasn't been tidied, or last minute I realize, oops, I don't have lemons, I'm dashing off to the nearest shop, and then you get caught in traffic and you're like, I'll see you at 2. Meanwhile at 2 o'clock you're stuck in traffic. That's the joy of the lives that, look, I since I started making this, like, I have never had to pre-record them except for when I filmed them in pre-recorded mode for long form. But what you see here is just me, and I'll sit here and I'll shout. Oh, Prawn says grandma is in Yorkshire and mom is in Asia. Mom is having fun at a wedding. And you, where are you? Are you somewhere up in Scotland enjoying the highlands and the views? Oh, you're currently in Ireland, girl. Do you ever, how long, what is your general time for staying in one place? How long? Trying to see if I can get to a swimming pool and deck sorted soon. Darling, your girl has been tired, okay? I've been generally exhausted, more like I'm fatigued, okay? So I decided to go get some bloods done with the GP just to see if the hormones are hormoning and if I am okay. That's all. I think I kind of overworked myself a little bit. Besides that, just living, okay? And then making cakes on the side for customers. So this weekend, for instance, I made, 50 cupcakes and a book cake that went out to a customer. And before that, the cake we baked, was it a week ago or 2? I can't even remember now. It was 2 weeks ago when I was last here, when we baked the vanilla cake, and then I posted the finished cake. That was for another customer. There are more cakes going off this weekend, next weekend. The lemon curd cake is for a customer. Like, I still bake for customers even when I'm not here. And I think that is also that is also another thing to think about. Because if I'm complaining I'm tired, right, and I'm not resting and I'm still expending time and energy making cakes, I get more tired after that. So it's like, oh, the more I do that, the less time I have, if you like. But hey, we are here now. We are here. But it's great to catch up with you again and see you are okay. I will be here hopefully over the winter, unless I need to be back in Edinburgh. Oh, so you're going to be in Ireland for a little while then. Hope you're having a lovely time over there. But let us know when you're coming across. But you know what? We know where to find you. Dawn is the lemons advocate. She is advocating so hard for the lemons. Lemons. You have an unpaid advocate who is advocating for your well-being, okay? Lemons, Dawn is literally fighting for your rights out here, like the way Just Oil is fighting to make the places right. Because Dawn says I should stop bruising you, so I'm going to just take you and put you over here. Dawn, you're happy now. Oh, Lord. We were supposed to be making lemon curd, but guys, it's been lovely. I love lemons too. You have it tea and hot water. Oh, Yeah, I have lemons. I have a lemon squeezed into warm water this morning. Actually, I've left the water in my flask somewhere. And apple cider. I try to have that. Listen, prawn. Well, the irony is that we call you prawn, but if you were an animal, what animal would you be? I think you'd be a peacock. Don't you think? It's pretty and it likes to show off. Well, if I was that pretty, I would be showing off too. And I chose a peacock for you not because of the pretty and showing off, not that, but because who wants to hurt a peacock? So you will just live free and be happy because you love farm animals that much. Remember the time when, do you still have all the when you had all the other animals? Do you still have them? I know you have the pet doggies now, but do you have all the other animals you used to look after? Do you still have them? Auntie J is here. Auntie J. Auntie J. Auntie J, how are you? It's been a little while. It's been a little while. It's great to see you again. Hugs. Oh, Prawn says, haha, you haven't seen what I look like though, Gladys. I actually was thinking of having peacocks here. I won't care what you look like because I'm not in your bed. But you know what? I'm just saying, the peacock just is such a beautiful animal. And I don't think of anybody who wants to hurt a peacock, right? So that just gives you a free pass to live. That's all. So it's more about lifespan rather than the aesthetic of what a peacock is like. Because we eat, vegans don't come for me. We eat chickens, we eat turkey. Who has ever thought, this peacock is nice? Because at least we've heard about ostrich eggs, right? Does anyone eat ostrich? I would just leave that alone. I'm done with the internet today. Okay, even the scarf is leaving. Prawn, now I really want to meet you. Now I really want to meet you. No, as on one promise. Because what I wanted, not that I don't want, I said now I want to meet you, but also get a look into your world of animals and how you look after them and how much you love them. Because I don't think you're just the regular pet owner over here who has the doggies and has a good life over here with your pets. Like you have pet dogs and cats. You're not that kind of pet. You're like, I live in a zoo. Okay? And the idea of getting into your world is fun until I think you people just be playing with snakes. you and Lollipop. And just remember the snake is the reason why they're suffering. Okay? Lollipop, I'm looking at you. Okay? The reason why you pop up a baby and you'll be screaming the house down and it's so hella painful is because some slithering, slimy liar got in the way. So leave that snake alone. Okay? Leave. Leave the snake alone. So, Lollipop and lollipop and prawn. I would love to meet you. I would love for me to understand your world of the way you love animals. But I'm not brave to say I want to come. Have you seen me? The thought of that. No. And knowing you, I'm like, unless if I was to meet you, we'll be meeting at a train station. I've thought about this, haven't I? Well, yeah, we'll be meeting at a train station. Okay? So that when you reach into your bag to pull out that snake, I will start running. Okay? Oh Lord. Oh God. But you know what? It is lovely to know that the internet will cause all of us who would otherwise not meet, okay, or share. Like, when people say they love animals, right? When people say they love animals, I understand the sentiment, but I don't know what it's like, because I've never, like, as a growing up in Ghana, pet ownership is different. And I have stories that if I told you, you will look at Ghana in a very, like, backward way. Okay, I'll just leave that alone. But the culture, I think it's not just a Ghanaian thing, it's a culture thing. Okay, the culture of where I come from, at least, you know what, times have changed, people have adapted. People who go from here to go and resettle back home obviously take the parts of a different culture, the Western culture, with them. So I'd imagine that there are areas and places in Ghana where pets are treated with the utmost love and care. Whereas if you look at it culturally, in a way where there is like a division in the economic system, where there is abject poverty of a certain class or of people, and I'm talking abject poverty, the love of animals, it doesn't mean just because they are poor derides the love of an animal, but it also means that who is spending money or like resources on an animal when they themselves are struggling to make ends meet in terms of their daily upkeep and care? Does that make sense? So when I say I understand the sentiment of the love of an animal, that is a universal thing. You don't have to like something to understand the care. I guess there's a form of empathy there. So when I see people who put their dogs in their bag, and like, it really fascinates and excites me. But I have never known what it will feel like to have a dog. I just know that I also don't have the commitment to take a dog walk. Like, I can barely get myself out of the house to exercise for me. Okay? I can barely. Like, when I wake up in the morning and I'm in a bad mood and they say, oh, to energize your mood, shake your body, go for a walk. For health reasons, I can barely do it for me. What business do I have owning a dog and taking the dog for a walk? I'm too lazy for that commitment. So that even makes me appreciate those who do. Like my neighbors, a lot of them have dogs. And my immediate neighbor has a son who walks their dog. It's the dog that is so cute. It looks like a sausage, but it's got like the wrinkly face. The dog is so cute. And when they pass by and the dog runs to me, I pet the dog and it's so lovely. But it's like, I pet the dog is gone. I talk to the boy, he's gone, goodbye. So those of you who love animals, I'm just saying, I understand the commitment that goes into it. And for that, I love you for it. But no, not for me. So, Prawn is asking, was Ghana always like that? I feel like colonialism did a number on many ethnic view animal up on how many ethnic cultures view animals. Living in survival mode change people to the bare bones of facultation. You know what? I wouldn't say Ghana has always been like that, because I can only speak for my own experience as a Ghanaian who grew up in an economic household where, like, we couldn't afford the care. If you think about what it takes to care for an animal as a pet, you have to recognize the responsibility and the input that goes into it. And growing up, I don't think that kind of made any difference to me. Plus, I don't mean to be gory. There are some cultures that actually they don't eat the pet, okay? It's not like you have the pet and then you kill it and eat it. But there are cultures there are Ghanaian cultures that will eat a dog, not that it is their pet. I just need to make that distinction, because the internet has a way of twisting words. Okay, so it's not like you rear the pet and you kill it and eat, like the chicken in your backyard. No, but there are cultures in Ghana that actually enjoy. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because, like, for those of you who love animals, that will be your worst nightmare. And I understand that. And I understand the campaign that people go to in different cultures, like in China, to say there is like dogs as a delicacy. People are advocating for the rights of the dogs. I understand two things can be true. Those people who enjoy that as a delicacy might make a good argument for it. Look, let's just say when I look at a dog, nothing about a dog makes me want it on my plate. Let's be clear. Okay? Let's start with that. But that said, there are cultures in Ghana that will eat a dog and a cat. So let that sit a little bit, right? There are cultures. And my mom loves cats though. My dad loved dogs. And when I was younger, periodically he had a dog. I wouldn't say we, because it was not our responsibility. It was just a dog at home, and we will give it the scraps and that. But it was nothing to do with us. But then one day you wake up and your dog is missing and he never came home. And that was the end. And then there will be a rumor about the neighbor ate the dog. We never found out what happened to the dog, by the way. Oh, Lord. See? Yep, same. So I would say in my culture as a Ghanaian, and also it's not, sometimes we also have to distinguish the general national culture from ethnic cultures, because a country could have different ethnic groups, and the ethnic group I come from, dogs were kept for utility, as Denai said, because I come from the northern part of Ghana, where dogs are part of the hunting community, if you like, because people had to go hunting. So dogs were kept for guards, and also going hunting with. And then the secondary option was that it was food. I don't think the hunter ate their dog, though. That's an argument. No. Oh, like I have funny stories from when I was young, because I think for me, the fact that the animal, like even growing up in Ghana, like I don't think I ever considered being vegan, but the way meat, as in fresh meat was processed. You can't, this whole business of food safety and meat, the hygiene of meat and all the dates, that doesn't exist where I come from. You go to the open market where the animal is strung out and it's wild, okay? So you don't even know. You can never guarantee the chicken you bought from the market. You don't know if it's a vulture, honey. Okay. Okay. So I say that to say, growing up in Ghana, I wasn't like a meat person. I preferred fish to meat. It was only when I came here that I felt comfortable to going back to meat. But my entire life in Ghana, I was, unless the meat was like say chicken, duck or something, that Christmas we would go and buy the live chicken and then slaughter it and then prep it. Yeah. But meat itself, as in meat, was a luxury. From the economic situation I grew up in, meat, like your mom doesn't have money to go and buy meat all the time. So the subject of dogs and cats as food was more centered on utility and need. But it's not because they kept those animals for pets. Not at all. No. It was like, if you can buy, if someone was selling a dog for the purposes of food, then people could buy it. So yeah. What trend am I starting, honey? Oh dear. You know what? Some of these conversations I think are exciting to me. I try to navigate it with a lot of care and also recognizing that my very unique experience doesn't speak for every other Ghanaian walking the streets out here, okay? But I think it's also important because that's how we keep informed and get comfortable with each other, right? That because I will always appreciate Tabitha saying where she lives in Oregon, she'd never met someone like me, right? So how would we expect Tabitha to have the language to address me, a person like me, especially in a racially divided community that we have come to be in? Whether you like it or not, the subject of race and culture and how that affects all of us in the way we interact with each other has become a thing, and it's really, really important for us to kind of leave room for educating each other. And educating each other doesn't always have to be like having a board and a pencil to say, oh, this, because I'm a kind of a unique Black person, and the subcategory being a unique Ghanaian, okay? The subcategory being a unique African Ghanaian. So I hope you understand that, you know, some of these conversations, like, how did we get to talking about pets and animals as food on your table? But that's not to say all Ghanaians are out here eating like their pets, or the assumption is Ghanaians are eating their pets. No, it's because from the economic background I came from, the animal is considered food or for utility purposes. So it's either guarding your house, fending off the robbers who are trying to attack you. But you even have to be in a certain like economic criteria to consider having a gated house and a dog in front of it to chase out your robbers. But when you're poor over here, nobody's trying to rob you. So yeah, I hope that helps. Ron says, yes, even in my own family, the relationship with family from one... Yep. The relationship from one family generation to the next is different. My great-grandmother loved her animals, but they were utilitarian for her living in conflict. See, I am glad we can appreciate that, because you know what, I think sometimes the conversation is difficult because I now live in a country where the love of animals is a national culture. right? So how do you then go, oh, actually, I come from a place that actually enjoys this you're loving here as a delicacy. Like, I can appreciate how garish and how uncouth it sounds in reality. Can you imagine the pet owner petting their dog and you having a conversation, be like, oh, that's actually cool, you holding this dog, but do you know that in my country we eat this? Like, no, I can appreciate how uncouth and how scary, but with the right context, I hope you understand the layers rather than, oh, why are you bothered about this dog? It should be eaten. No. Okay? Someone's pet is not your food. Let's be clear. That's all. That said, I am still awaiting a python burger. Lollipop. More like a python fillet. Does it taste like chicken or fish? God, my people. Did I say I was only here for an hour? Let's go and make sure our battery hasn't died. Where are we on the oh, people, the battery is 9%. Have you known the time that our battery died and then we were off the chat? We don't want that to happen. So let's go. I'll be back on Thursday. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the laughs and the laughter. Check back on the community post for the exact time. It's likely to be 2 p.m. on Thursday. If anything changes, I'll keep you updated, but I would definitely, God willing, be back on Thursday. My love to you all. Mwah.